What's up? What's up, guys? This is your boy Senjo, and welcome to my Melo Story. I'm reporting live from the heart of the Copper Belts in Kitwe, and this is a very interesting segment of Melo Media Productions because it takes you deep into the lives of people that Melo Media has affected, and it brings you close to home. You know, the thing behind this segment is that we go through life experiencing different things, and most of the time we tend to overlook the value of certain encounters that we get to experience, because you know how life is. It's a continuous cycle where we get to experience things sometimes all over again, sometimes they're new, but because life is life, we just experience things and not pay particular attention, or just not recognize the different things that shape us into what we are and affect our lives in the many different ways that we get affected. So I felt like I should tell my own story of my affiliation. Geez, looks like I'm walking towards a very heavy downpour of rain. But yeah, I feel like I should tell my own story of how Melo Media has impacted me and how it has affected my life. So my affiliation with Melo Media goes back as far back as around this time last year. I remember I have a friend by the name of Caucus. Shout out to you, Caucus. I remember I was in full-time employment, and that particular day, I was running up and down. It's actually raining, so I was running up and down. Um, I hope my phone's gonna be okay in this rains. So I was running up and down, trying to organize an event at a certain institution that I was working for. So Caucus wrote me a message. We hadn't spoken in a long time, and he just wrote me a message on WhatsApp saying, "Yo, bro, there's this friend of mine in Osaka who just launched a website, and he's looking for people from different areas of the country who can volunteer as media personnel in different faculties of the media house." So, obviously for him to send me that link, he knew that for a long time I had been trying to penetrate the media circles. So he knew that that was my interest. And because of my affiliation with him and his knowledge, his prior knowledge of my interests, he sent me that link. So because of how busy I was, I didn't even take time to read. Just the mere fact that he was looking for somebody to volunteer in the media fraternity, I got interested. I got so interested to a point where I did not sit down to read the contents of the message that he sent, but I replied in the busyness of my schedule. I replied to him and said, "You know what? Tell him I'm game. If this means traveling I'll travel over the weekend." That was on a Friday. I'll travel over the weekend. We'll come and sit down with him, and we'll see how I can remotely be a part of his production. So he got the message. He gave me the line. We communicated. I told him I was interested. And the him in this case is Mr. Sinyani. I don't know if he would want me to put his name out there, but I'm sorry, boss, your name is out there. But yeah, so I got connected to Mr. Sinyani through a mutual friend of ours, Caucus. So unfortunately, something happened at work. I think I'll find time to, it's not even necessary for me to tell, but something happened. And apparently that was the last day of me being at that former employment institution. That was the very last day. And then it so happened that the following day, I actually had to travel to Lusaka for a hearing for something wrong that I did at my former workplace. So I actually had to travel. And I took time of the opportunity for me to travel to Lusaka, and I met up with him at Central Mall. We sat down, we shared ideas, and it's like we were instantaneously linked. Our minds were synchronized somehow because we had the same vision. I didn't know what his media house was all about, but for me, I saw an opportunity to learn new things. I saw an opportunity to apply what I thought was some of the innate skills that I had possessed from prior experiences, and just to explore my interests, the interests that I thought I naturally had. So we agreed. There were no initial talks of monies because he was just launching this thing. There was no monetization of anything. And for me, my interest wasn't the money, it was the experience, it was the lessons that I was going to learn from there. And fast forward, this is a year into it. And as you can see, Melo Media has grown tremendously. I have learned a lot of things, even though there were no financial agreements in the first place. I had I have had a lot of support from the media house in different terms because I'm still not back into formal employment. I don't plan on going back. But even as I was entering the entrepreneurship world on my own, I have been anchored in a lot of ways by Melo Media through the different support schemes, the different projects that we've had. Um, so yeah, my Melo story really is anchored on the fact that Melo Media is still growing, but one of the best media houses that we have in terms of service delivery, in terms of sharing and coverage of news, in terms of different aspects, and also in terms of audience engagement. We try by all means to engage with our audience. And speaking of which, this is an opportunity for you as a Melo Media affiliate in whatever sense. If you have had any experience with Melo Media, if you've been impacted in any way, even if you've just received talk time, if you've had any encounter with Melo Media, this is an open call for you to share your testimonial. And if you are interested, there should be numbers scrolling on your screen. In a few minutes, I should have done this earlier, but the conditions under which I'm broadcasting could not allow me to do a lot of things. Uh, yeah, so right about now, there's that information scrolling on your screens just now. There are numbers there. If you have any story that you want to share with us, please feel free and just pick up one of the numbers scrolling on the screen, and that's an extract or just an anecdote of what this segment is all about. And yeah, let's get telling our stories. You never know. At Melo Media, we are known for sharing the little we have with our audience. So by sharing your story, you never know who it might touch. You never know who might listen to it. But at the end of the day, you are invited to share your story. And bruh, I've learned a lot of things. I was at the point where I didn't have experience. I didn't have a lot of knowledge in a lot of areas regarding to the media circle. But when Melo Media, when I joined Melo Media, they gave me an opportunity to learn, to make mistakes, to consult, and to just be on my own. And that is empowerment, if you ask me, because a lot of young people do not. They have the skills, they have the knowledge, but they don't have platforms where they can apply and see for themselves if they really can manage the different things that they think they can try given a chance. But for me, Melo Media has been that place where I would say I have grown in a lot of ways, in my own little ways, and I have a lot of people looking at me like I'm crazy. But yeah, when you're doing something that you love, people get to think you're crazy. You know what I mean? So this is an open call for you to share your Melo story. Let us know how Melo Media has impacted you. Let us know how Melo Media has influenced your life in any way. And we are waiting for you to share your Melo story. This has been your boy Senjo sharing my Melo story, and I am booking up. Peace and love.